Hi, welcome back to my channel, Orion Tarot 1111. These are going to be this is probably going to be a two-part video or two videos. My dryer is broke. I've got the maintenance people in, and my dogs go absolutely insane. Plus, I just don't do well with other energies around. It's so distracting, especially when they're trying to fix something. So I think what I'm going to do now is I have a lot of downloads about, well, this Sirius Gateway, which was the 7-7, the upcoming Lions Gateway, which is the 8-8 portal, this new moon, even the full moon later this month. So I have a lot of downloads. So I'm going to do that first. I'm going to release these videos at the same time, and then I'll come back and do a spread. I've got 4 decks that, are pulled, and as far as I know, we're going to use all 4 of them. So this is going to be kind of lengthy. All right, so the downloads. First off, like I got so distracted, I started to do this video, had to scrap it because they came unexpectedly, and so now I'm like having to get back into channeling and remember everything. So to this morning I heard "Don't cry over spilt milk," and it was surrounding like the 5 of Cups, energy card. And there's basically 2 ways that that's playing out. 1, something you thought was going to work out did not. And you're sitting there, basically mourning it. And, although we have to feel it to heal it, we do have to mourn. But at some point, instead of just staying stagnant and stuck in that energy, you're going to have to turn around. And, in those cards, there's typically like a castle or a house. There's 2 cups behind you. You know what those are. You don't really like them, but there's a pathway that leads up to this castle. You need to just take the pathway, because once the universe takes something away from us, it never, even though sometimes it seems like that, it never just closes off. There's always a new path. You just have to be in the right energy and the right vibration to now see the new path. Now I'm going to go be, now the full energy. It's a new beginning. The other way that that's playing out is somebody, you or them, chose wrong. Typically out of fear or out of, I don't know. Usually it's some kind of fear. You chose wrong. You took something for granted. That's what I was going to say. You took something for granted. And now it's gone. And you're sitting there, full of regret, looking at what's gone, living in the past, instead of just, cutting your losses, learning the lesson, and going down the new path. The other download I got was surrounding, I've been seeing stags. So I'm a huge Harry Potter fan. And I got this card in this deck, which we're going to pull from the deck during our spread. And it looked like a Patronus. That's what it looked like. And, the Patronuses are, their protection. They're also like, the light and the dark. The Dementors are like stealing the joy. It's full of darkness, and the Patronus is like, the light that expels that energy. So I looked up, what's the spiritual meaning of the stag, and it is basically about spirituality, spiritual enlightenment. And so, so the downloads I got after that were just like, basically following this stag down the path to a spiritual enlightenment. It's just becoming, more spiritual. It's, leveling up. Also, when I was preparing for this reading, I was looking up out of curiosity, when's the next new moon? And it happens to be on August the 7th. and it's the day before the actual 8/8 Lionsgate portal, but it's during that whole gateway. New moons, are about setting intentions, new beginnings, what you want to happen, during this moon phase. So, not just myself, but some of my friends, we've all been really rocked with some relationship issues. And it's a couple of different things. So I'm on a twin flame journey. I'm married. And it's these divine masculines. So divine feminines, if you're on this journey, you've been doing the work. You should be doing your shadow work because it's so important. You really cannot come into union with your divine masculine if you are not, one, in union with yourself, with your own yin and yang and your own divine masculine and divine feminine. And if you have not, done the shadow work, you can't, because your partner is going to trigger you. I mean, everything's going to trigger you. Everybody's going to trigger you. That's what we're doing. We're mirroring. They're going to trigger you. And if you cannot, sit back and sit with it and understand the lessons and, in order to clear out these karmic cycles, it's not going to work out. You're going to end up, either not coming into union or coming out of union, which is then not really a true union. So anyway, it's like these divine masculines are going through some shadow stuff is coming up that they didn't know was necessarily in there, or I feel like they also, just not good at working. That's just, they're very different, not good at, working through those energies like we are. And they got rocked by a shadow. It's also a karmic cycle. They're mirroring something to us. We're seeing the karmic cycle. The feminines are seeing the karmic cycle. And, some tough choices are going to have to be made. Last year, during 2020, I was, as we all were, going through some stuff, and I just really I went out into nature and I dared the universe, you can take everybody out of my life, but what you can't take is me from me. And as long as I still have me, I'm going to be fine. And the universe answered. And I have had, relationships, not, romantically, but like with my family and relationships with friends come up for review and show me something and say like, okay, do you still choose you? Okay, do you still choose you? And I've chose me. And some people, it's vibrate up or vibrate out. And some people have vibrated out. Some very dear, close people to me have vibrated out. And although that's sad, it's just that not everybody makes it. Not everybody can, is willing to, we have free will. Not everybody's willing to do the work. That's just plain and simple. And so then, it came up again, like, here's this karmic cycle, and it's a repeating one, and it's, not completely necessarily repeating in, my current relationship, but it's a repeating one from past relationships as well. And when it happened, I recognized it as a repeating karmic cycle and decided, I'm going to have to choose me. And, no, I did not, didn't in my relationship, but it was it was a possibility. Like if we can't close this up, then it was a possibility, that I would walk away and choose me. So that's what's going on. Like we're in this ascension, this 5 days, Earth's ascending. The veil is just becoming more, less and less around us. It's very thin. There's lots of holes in it. And so, we're just really seeing things, closing out these cycles, seeing things differently, making different choices. And so what's going on is like the Sirius portal. So it was the sun aligning with the star Sirius. And then the Lionsgate portal is the earth aligning with the Sirius star. So it's literally as above, so below. The lessons that we're learning during, that we were learning during this Sirius gateway, the cycles that we were closing out, the downloads that we're getting, the energies that we're in, is all to prepare us to walk through the Lion's Gate, or the as below. What's being manifested up in the ethers, will move down into the 3D, from the 5D to the 3D. And it seems extremely important. That's the messages that I'm getting. It seems extremely important that we either go through this portal with the correct people, or we go through the portal alone. You can't go through this. It's like, that's the message out there, for the collective, is that you can't go through this portal with the wrong people. Eights are about abundance. So, and that's what happens when, you manifest things up in the 5D, and then they come to fruition in the 3D. You're not going to get all this abundance and blessings and gifts if you're being stagnant, and you're not choosing you're choosing codependency and staying in the wrong relationships because you're codependent. That's not going to work. And so, yeah, it's really some tough stuff, some really tough energy out there right now. And I think once we get through, the Lionsgate portal, that, I think we're going to be able to breathe easier, because I really do think that these are going to be some tough lessons from here for a month. The other thing I found out, about seeing that stag, is it popped up about the full moon that's coming up at the end of this month, the 23rd or the 24th. And it's called the Buck Moon. And it's a full moon in Aquarius. I'm an Aquarius. If you know anything about Aquariuses, we are highly intuitive, very spiritual. We're the weirdos of the zodiac. We're very intelligent, and also known as like the aliens of the zodiac. So with that stag energy being about spirituality, about spiritual enlightenment, I just found it not a coincidence that the Buck full moon is in Aquarius. So those are all the downloads. And then I'm going to come back and do a spread, probably with these 4 different decks. And we'll fill out more of these, full moon energies and, intentions and stuff like that. So thanks for tuning in. And if you do like these videos, please, like and subscribe. That kind of helps me out to know, what content y'all like. And so I can get, ideas for new videos. All right. Bye.